Hello, welcome back. Cappy Corner is back again, and today we're going to talk about some Derby Trail races. I know last week we diverted from the Derby Trail a bit, but today we're going to talk about the Jerome Stakes at Aqueduct and the Smarty Jones Stakes at Oaklawn. The Jerome is only a 5 horse field, but one of the horses is entered today at Parks, so I'm going to assume he's going to run at Parks today, and maybe it's going to be too quick of a turnaround to run in the Jerome, so it might be a 4 horse field for the Jerome Stakes at Aqueduct. We're going to talk about it briefly because there aren't that many horses in the race. Let's start off with the favorite, Balboa. He's coming off a third place finish in the Remsen Stakes, and let's talk about him. Balboa was third in the Remsen Stakes at 9 furlongs, and maybe the distance was too long for him in that race. Before that, he won the 6 furlong stakes race at Laurel Park, the J.F. Lewis Stakes, and he won by 5 1/4 lengths in that race, so Balboa excelled at the 6 furlong distance, although he's facing lesser company. Maybe the company in the Remsen Stakes was too much for him. Paladin won that race, and Paladin might have a bright future. Now, Balboa cuts back to 1 mile in this race. He has plenty of speed to set the pace, and I think he'll just go straight to the front, and it'll be hard for any horse in this race to duel with him. So I think Balboa is just going to stick to the lead, and he's going to be my pick in this race. Now, there is pace-setting speed to his outside. All these horses have a little bit of speed, but there is pace-setting speed to his outside. Maleta, he's running in the Parks Future Stakes race today, so I don't know if he's going to be at Aqueduct on Saturday. I think that would be a crazy turnaround if he's running at Parks today. I don't think he's going to be in the Jerome Stakes on Saturday. So I have to assume Maleta is not in this race. You see he was setting the pace in his last 2 races at 7 furlongs and 1 mile. So for him not to be in this race, that's a big help to Balboa. And I think Balboa is going to be too tough for the other speed to his inside, and he's going to win this race. Who's going to finish underneath him? I want to say My World. My World is trained by Brad Cox, and he won the Nashua Stakes by 3.5 lengths. Let's take a look at that race. Okay, we have the Nashua Stakes in mid-stretch. My World is the gray horse. Probably Dreaming is the one outside of him. And My World and Probably Dreaming are close here. But towards the end, My World separates from him. And he really gets going towards the wire. I think the margin was, 3.5 lengths? He had plenty more. I think there's more to My World than what we saw in the Nashua Stakes. Brad Cox can be a tricky trainer. Sometimes his horses run slow races, and then they just jump forward in the next start. And I think that could be the case with My World. He cost $350K, so they obviously saw a lot when they bought this horse. And I know it says 83 breeze speed rating. I think he could improve. Could he beat Balboa? Maybe not. Maybe not this time. But I think he'll be right on him from the beginning. And it'll be a good race. I think My World will make Balboa sweat on the turn. But I think Balboa is too quick at 1 mile. And maybe as the distances get longer, maybe My World will be the better horse, but at 1 mile I still prefer Balboa on top, but I do think My World will finish second. Now, I could see some people picking Enforced Agenda. He won his maiden race by a length. I think he got a little tired towards the end. And it was fine. He earned an 81 breeze speed rating. It was only his first start. He could move forward. Bobby Pratt does hop on board, but I prefer My World, so I'm going to say... So my final bet will be Balboa over My World. I don't think it's a good betting race, but if I had to bet, I would say Balboa over My World, straight exacta, in the Jerome Stakes. So let's move on to the Smarty Jones Stakes at Oaklawn. Here we are with the Smarty Jones Stakes. This is a bigger field, so it'll take longer to get through it. Let's start off with Universe, the rail horse. He's 3-1. He might be the favorite. I don't have the morning line memorized, but he is 3-1, so maybe he's the favorite. He was he was second in the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes. He was second in the Street Sense Stakes. I don't trust any of those races. I need to see more information. I get the feeling they are weak races, but I don't have enough information on me. And if you see the pace in the Kentucky Jockey Club, he got a big setup there. Plus 13 under 1C, plus 13 under 2C. That is very, very fast. And you see that Universe was 10 lengths off the lead, 8 lengths off the lead. Remember, when the pace is fast, it helps the deep closers. And in this specific race, Universe was a deep closer, 10 lengths off the pace at 1C. He got a big setup, and that helped him run second at the end. So Universe could win this race. He's not for me. I think if I were to use him at all, it would be in a trifecta, maybe third or fourth. I'm not going to pick him to win. I understand that people do. Let's move on. Now let's skip down to Boca Beach Club. He's number 3. And I like his run in the Advent Stakes, in the 5.5 furlong Advent Stakes on December 12th. And we're going to watch a clip of that race. And you see Boca Beach Club is the one on the outside, the number 4 horse. And that's Dirty Rich on the lead. Boca Beach Club is coming at the end. He's really quick. And he's not going to get there, but I think Dirty Rich is a good horse. And Boca Beach Club does put in a good run and finish second. I think he had more. I think he could get more than 5.5 furlongs. Can he get a mile and 1/16? That is a concern, especially with his trainer. And his trainer, James DeVito, you see here, first time at a route out of 33 tries, 6%. Sprint route out of 14 tries, 0%. In non-graded stakes races, he's 0% out of 13. I think this is over the past year. I don't know if I could trust him with that trainer, no matter what his pedigree looks like. His pedigree looks fine. Omaha Beach over a Mineshaft mare. I don't know if I could trust him just based on those trainers' stats. And I'm not big on trainer statistics, but in this case, those are so bad that I have to pay attention to them. And he does get Louis Saez on board. 4-1 might be a good price, but I don't trust him going a route. I think if I were to use him, maybe it would be underneath, like in third or fourth. Here we have Silent Tactic, number 4, and he's going to be my pick in this race. Even though it's slightly a guess, he only has 2 synthetic starts, and this is a dirt race, a mile 1/16 on dirt. He does want the distance, otherwise they wouldn't have started him in 2 mile 1/16 races at Woodbine. And we're going to take a look at the Gray Stakes where he ran second. Here we have the Gray Stakes. And Silent Tactic is the one on the outside, second from the outside. And you see him making his move right there. The eventual winner was on the rail, the number 1 horse. I forget his name. But he got lucky getting that rail trip. And Silent Tactic is coming at him from the outside. It was a fight effort. He's not going to get up there, but he is moving forward. And you see that they have separated from the rest of the field. I thought it was a good effort, even though he didn't win. He went wide on the turn while the other horse got the ground-saving trip. And can he handle dirt? Based on pedigree, he's supposed to, even though pedigree is not an exact science. You see here, Tacitus is a sire. Tacitus was a dirt horse. I believe he's a new sire. Someone could correct me on that. Down here we have Malvinia. Malvinia is a full sister to Malibu Moon, and we know Malibu Moon is mainly a dirt sire, although sometimes he does get turf horses. And we have names like AP Indy, we have Gunrunner, we have Tap It, we have AP Indy again on top. I think there's plenty of dirt in his pedigree. It's not an exact science though. It could turn out he's a synthetic horse, but I think he could handle dirt. And I'm going to say he's my choice to win this race. They paid $500K for him, so they didn't pay $500K for nothing. And this is a familiar team of John Oxley and Mark Casse, so they know what they're doing. Silent Tactic is my choice in this race. Now, down to number 5, Rancho Santa Fe. Rancho Santa Fe broke his maiden at Ellis Park, and then he won an optional claimer at Keeneland. And the great sign here is that the next 2 finishers, Infiltrate and Grand Mahogany, they both won their next starts, as you can see by how their names are italicized. And I do like the margin from Infiltrate to Grand Mahogany, 10 lengths. 10 lengths is a big margin, so even though Rancho Santa Fe won by half a length, that 10-length margin to the rest of the field from second and third, I think that's a good sign. So Rancho Santa Fe, I think he could improve in this start. I know he only earned an 86 breeze speed rating, but the rest of the horses in this race for the most part don't have big figures either. And he does have tactical speed. He'll be third or fourth early on. He'll be right up there, a length or 2 off the pace. And I think he could move forward. Again, with Brad Cox, you can't take those low speed figures seriously. Sometimes they just move up out of nowhere. And I do think he'll move forward from the 86. Also consider that the optional claimer in Keeneland was back in October. and this is already December 30th, so he could be a lot better by now. Rancho Santa Fe will be in my top three for this race. He's definitely a contender. Now let's talk about Oscar's Hope, who a couple of my handicapping friends like, including Siggy, who sometimes comes on this show. Oscar's Hope, he won a stakes race at Delta Downs, the Jean Lafitte, and he also won an optional claim at Churchill. So there is an argument that because he won at Churchill, he was second in Keeneland in an allowance race, that maybe he's not a bad horse. But still, that Jean Lafitte was not a strong field. I want to point out the fourth place finisher in that race. The fourth place finisher, Way Beyond, he went on to run in the Remington Springboard Mile. We can see here, he was fifth in that race, and you remember the winner of that race was a runaway winner, so he was nowhere close to the winner. He was a distant fifth. We can also look at the second place runner, Randemonium. He was second to Oscar's Hope by 2 3/4 of a length. And Randemonium was seventh in the Louisiana Champions Day Juvenile Stakes. So I don't think I need to look any further. I think there's no question that Jean Lafitte was a terrible race. And for him to only win by 2 3/4 of a length over that field, it gives me some doubt that he could handle this race, the Smarty Jones Stakes, against better horses. And we could even look down here to that Churchill race. Sure, he won at Churchill Downs, which should be a better track with better horses. But who was third in that race? Way Beyond. And he was, roughly the same margin behind Oscar's Hope as he was at Delta Downs. So I don't think you can call that Churchill Downs race a better race. I think we have a common denominator here with Way Beyond, who was fifth in the Remington Springboard Mile. And I'm just going to skip him. So he's not for me. Oscar's Hope will not be on my tickets. Strategic Risk has kind of mixed form, but when he's on, he's on. He broke his maiden by 8 1/4 of a length last summer at Gulfstream. Then he was nowhere to be found in the Sanford Stakes. He lost by 16 lengths. And then he went on a short layoff. And he tried turf, and he was nowhere to be found, 10 lengths behind the winner. And then he went back to dirt at Gulfstream after another short layoff. And he was third in a 7 furlong sprint. He made a move in that race, but then he was repelled, as it says here in the comments, and then he faded back to third by 5 3/4 of a length. He turned that around in the next start, the Florida Sire, I don't know what that is. It's a Florida bred stakes race, a mile 1/16 on November 29. He won by 9 lengths. We're going to take a look at that clip right up here. And we see Strategic Risk moving into the lead. He's second right now, but he's moving into the lead under his own power, and he's going to look great in the stretch run. I don't know who he's meeting in this race. I would guess it's a weak field if I had to. It's a Florida-bred race, remember that. But look at him run away. Look at him run away from the field. He leaves a great visual impression. It feels like there's more to him, and he just does that so professionally and under his own power. And I just think there's more to him. But his inconsistent form kind of scares me. I don't know what to make of him. I think if he runs his best race, he could win this race. I don't know if he will run his best race. I'm still going to pick Silent Tactic, but I recognize Strategic Risk could win. And I recognize that, what was that other horse that I liked? Rancho Santa Fe could win. So those are my three horses that I'm looking at. I think what I'm going to do is bet Silent Tactic to win, and also wheel him underneath Rancho Santa Fe and Strategic Risk. So Silent Tactic to win, and I'm also going to wheel him in second with Rancho Santa Fe and Strategic Risk on top. And that's my play for the Smarty Jones Stakes at Oaklawn Park. Thanks for listening to my analysis for the Jerome Stakes, the Smarty Jones Stakes, and hopefully I'll be back soon with another race covering the Derby Trail. And good luck with your bets this weekend. And as I said, I'll be back soon.